Rangers supporters may be keeping a closer eye on the upcoming window after fresh developments emerge surrounding one of the club's former midfield standouts. A situation that has steadily unfolded in the background has now taken a notable turn, placing a familiar name back into the conversation at a crucial stage of the season. With circumstances shifting elsewhere and unexpected movement behind the scenes, attention is beginning to gather around what could become one of January's more intriguing transfer discussions. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Southampton midfielder Joe Aribo appears to be edging closer to the exit door after reportedly informing the club that he is free to move on in January. The development has inevitably sparked talk of a potential return to Rangers, where the Nigerian international enjoyed the most consistent and celebrated spell of his career. His time in the Championship has been fragmented, and following a turbulent period for the Saints, it now seems increasingly likely that a departure is on the horizon. Aribo's fortunes have taken a downward turn since Southampton's relegation from the Premier League, marking his second drop in 2 years following his 2022 exit from Ibrox. His influence within the squad diminished under previous manager Will Still, who removed him from matchday selections entirely. It wasn't until November that the 28-year-old finally featured again, this time under interim boss Tonda Eckert, highlighting the scale of his slide down the pecking order. Despite that, Aribo's status among Rangers supporters has remained remarkably strong. His goal in the Europa League final against Eintracht Frankfurt has cemented him in club folklore, and many fans have long expressed the desire to see him return to Glasgow. With his contract entering its final 6 months and reports suggesting Southampton would accept a £1.5 million fee, speculation is naturally intensifying. Interest from Turkey has been floated, though pundit Marvin Bartley suggested that a move back to Rangers should not be dismissed. Speaking on Clyde One Super Scoreboard, he said, "I think that is one that could happen. When a player enjoys somewhere, and obviously he had to leave because it was a really good offer that he got down the road, and he has not played as much football as he wanted to play." Bartley added that the door to Ibrox could easily reopen if the circumstances align. He's still a really good footballer and did well for Rangers. I wouldn't be massively shocked if he came back in January. Whether Aribo himself would sanction the move is another matter. Upon leaving Glasgow, he made it clear that stepping outside familiar surroundings was a key motivation in his decision. Reflecting on his career choices at the time, he said, "I think for me, what's so important is the timing of everything. I had some offers down south, but I chose to go away from home, come out of my comfort zone, which is so important for your own growth personally." Explaining his initial journey north and subsequent return to England, he added, "Life is about little steps to get to your goal, and that's why I made the choice to go up there, and then why I came back to Southampton. Minutes on the pitch have been scarce this season, just 114 in total." But Eckert recently offered a surprisingly positive assessment of the midfielder, hinting that his attitude and physical condition remain at a high level. The manager said, "I am very happy with Joe. He's been excellent every time he has come on, and he is in very good shape." Even so, the broader picture suggests Aribo's future may lie elsewhere. With limited involvement, a modest fee required, and the January window approaching, both club and player seem to be edging towards a clean break. Whether that path leads him back to Ibrox or takes him to entirely new surroundings remains the key question as the mid-season market draws near. In other news, Rangers have been handed a significant and genuinely timely boost as they prepare to navigate one of the most demanding stretches of their season. With fixtures piling up throughout December and early January, the club have been bracing itself for the loss of 2 influential first-team players to the Africa Cup of Nations. However, circumstances have shifted in their favour. easing the strain on Danny Roll's squad at a moment when depth and continuity are essential. Going into the winter period, Rangers expected both Mohamed Diomande and Nasser Jaiga to be called upon by their respective nations. Each player has 8 caps, and both had been part of recent international discussions, making their involvement at AFCON appear highly likely. Diomande, capped by Ivory Coast, and Giga, currently on loan and representing Burkina Faso, were viewed as almost certain selections, meaning Roll had been preparing to compensate for their absence during a pivotal run of fixtures. But the situation has taken a notable turn. Only one of the pair will be heading to the tournament in Morocco after Ivory Coast omitted Diomande from a immersed phase squad. The midfielder, who's been pushing for greater prominence on the international stage, has been left out despite previously being considered a rising option for the national team. A key figure involved in discussions around the squad remarked that the decision reflected the competition for places and the specific balance required in midfield. A blow for Diomande, but one that reshapes Rangers' outlook considerably. Diomande's exclusion stems partly from his lack of recent international involvement. He last featured for Ivory Coast in June, appearing in friendly matches against New Zealand and Canada. He did not take part in World Cup qualifiers or subsequent friendlies between September and November. And another figure close to the squad noted that continuity played a major part in the final selection, ultimately working against the player's chances. For Rangers, though, the repercussions are entirely positive. With Diomande staying in Glasgow, Roll avoids losing a central midfielder who has become increasingly integral to the team's structure and tempo. One coaching voice around the club highlighted the importance of keeping him available, stating, "His energy and discipline in the middle of the pitch are crucial for how we want to play during this run." Although he is suspended for Thursday's Europa League meeting with Ferencváros, Diomande will return immediately afterward for Monday's Premiership clash with Hibs. More importantly, his availability stretches into early January, ensuring he can feature in the high-stakes New Year Old Firm derby against Celtic on January 3rd, a fixture that often carries long-term significance in the title race. Giga, meanwhile, will still depart to represent Burkina Faso, leaving Rangers without a defensive option during the tournament. But the unexpected retention of Diomande softens the overall impact and provides Roll with greater stability in the centre of the pitch during one of the most intense phases of the campaign. What initially looked like a double international setback has effectively been halved. And for Rangers, that change could prove vital as they push to maintain momentum through the festive period. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.